everybody, what's up? This is Ryan. Today we're working on tips for tricks, specifically focused on breakdancing freezes/stalls. Make sure you're going to want to have a soft space in your home, either carpet or preferably, if you guys have a mat that you have at home that you can lay out, use a mat as well. But something soft, make sure you also have plenty of space, and let's get started. We're going to start off on the ground with our first stall. This is one of the most basic stalls to start off with if you're doing any breakdancing. First, we're going to be on our knees and hands, all fours, all right? You want to be down. Next thing you want to do, depends on if you're right-handed or left-handed. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand. You're going to turn it over so you can use the back side of your hand, and you're going to put it down in between your legs, okay, right in between your knees, so you can lay on your shoulder. Now, what you want to think with all of this is you're building a base. So you want to think a triangle, all right? Your shoulder is a part of that. Your head, the side of your head is a part of that, which has the least amount of pressure on it. And your other hand is another part of the triangle that's going to be connected. So we put that hand down. We put the shoulder down, okay? We lay our ear on the ground and make sure this other hand is out in front of you for support. From here, we want to get our booty up in the air, okay, and lift one leg up at a time so we can get balance, and then try to kick that other leg up until you can find the sweet spot where you're balancing. From this position, you can do all sorts of different things with your legs. Next freeze. This is a baby freeze, another basic breakdancing stall. This one is going to require you to pick one leg to be up and one knee to be down. So I'm, again, right-handed, so I'm going to have my right leg up, my left knee down. From here, you want to take your arm, that's more towards, when you turn, towards the back of your body. That is going to be where your elbow attaches to the outside of that hip, okay? So you want to twist your body, make sure you glue that elbow onto your hip, all right? Your other arm, that elbow, needs to be on the outside of your knee, okay? So we're gluing this elbow towards the top of our leg, right by our knee. This one is towards the back side by our hip. From here, you want to also make sure your fingers are turned out, kind of like a turtle, okay? We're going to place the hands on the ground while still keeping our elbows attached to that leg. That is the key trick, okay? You want to not let go of those elbows on the leg. From here, if you've ever been to the park, like a teeter-totter, this is exactly what your body's going to do right now. It's all about weight transfer. So you want to make sure that you're transferring more weight towards your head and away from your feet. So we're slowly leaning and pushing our feet up and our body off the ground. We're going to slowly push and lean more until we can get our head on the ground. And from here, again, legs straight, legs bent. We can start in this position. It's a little easier if you want to hold that. And this is a baby freeze. Next up, we're on to our third breakdancing freeze position that we're going to learn. This is in conjunction with what we just did, which is our baby freeze. This is called an open baby freeze. So this is a little trickier and a little more advanced, all right? We're only going to use one arm to support our body and the other arm to balance. So this won't be both arms supporting our body, just one, okay? So I'm going to show what it looks like when we actually get in it, and then I'm going to go back and show you how to get in it from our baby freeze. So your dominant arm is still going to be attached, that elbow, to your hip, but instead of the side of your body, it's actually on the front side of your body, on that hip bone, okay? The other arm is in front of you, and it's going to help balance your body. So what you want to do, get both arms down, your back arm, your dominant supporting arm, you want to lean your body onto that hip, okay? From here, we're going to get on all toes there, so we're nice and level, and then this is where it gets a little tricky. Again, like a teeter-totter, we need to lean forward and try to get those feet off the ground so we are balancing our body. Again, shift your hand if you need to, and this is a open baby freeze. Now we're gonna learn how to get into that out of our baby freeze. So once we're in our baby freeze position that we've already learned, we need to practice rotating our hips, taking the top leg, rotating that open into your open baby freeze, and practice holding it. We just learned how to get into our open baby freeze. The next, I would say the more advanced level in our open baby freeze is to try to get to balance on just your hands, okay? Not your head, just your arms. So remember how we got into that? All right, toes up, we're leaning on that hip bone. From here, practice trying to just balance just with your feet up, all right? So we're just using that back, that dominant arm, to hold our body up. Next position we're gonna learn, we learned our baby freeze, we learned our open baby freeze, and we learned how to hold our open baby freeze while just floating, using that back arm to hold ourselves up. We're gonna utilize that next. We're gonna use two arms to hold ourselves up. This is called a turtle freeze. But again, we're not gonna use our head to balance our body. You're gonna be floating your body off the ground. So, same way we got into our open baby freeze, how I showed you to hold that. Make sure we're on all fours. We're gonna one at a time take each arm and tuck it into our hip bone. But instead of just using that dominant arm, you're gonna use both. So we gotta get that other one tucked in, okay? From here, fingers are gonna be turned out. This is why we call it a turtle freeze. Again, funny name, but you can kind of see why it's called that. We're gonna kind of feel like a turtle when we get into this. Legs can either be straight or bent. When you're first learning this, maybe our balance isn't built up to what we want it to be. Start with bent legs. It's a little easier to balance. Our body is more contracted in and more centered in our weight. But as you advance, you can start to extend the legs out and kind of play with that balance a little bit more. So we are going to turn the hands out, bend your elbows in to your hip bones, okay? We got our feet out, and we're gonna practice balancing and just getting those feet off the floor, okay? And if you fall down, that's okay. Push yourself back up and try to hold. And again, bent legs, more advanced, we can go straight legs and try to hold that, okay? And that is our turtle freeze. Last thing we're gonna learn for our tips for tricks during our breakdancing freeze session here today is gonna be a headstand, but kind of playing around with what we can do in our positions with our body, with our feet, with our legs in that headstand. First thing you need to learn how to do is a headstand, a tripod. A lot of you might have learned how to do this growing up when you were younger in the studio, maybe you did gymnastics, something pretty easy to do, gymnastics 101, but let's go through it. Again, we want to make that triangle that we talked about with our body. First part of the triangle, first point is going to be the top of your head. Then the other 2 points are going to be both your hands. Again, when you go down, just like I always describe this like a piece of paper, right? A piece of paper is flat. If you try to stand that up, it's just going to fall right over. If you bend it in the middle, right, so it kind of makes a triangle shape, okay, that will stand up. Same thing with our body. We don't want our hands too close to our head. We're going to topple right over. We want some balance. We want some space and depth in between our head and our hands to be able to hold our body up. It's a lot of weight. Our legs weigh a lot. We need to be able to utilize that. So we're going to find a spot for our hands and then make sure that the top of your head goes out farther than your hands. So you're actually looking at your hands when you go upside down. So we're just gonna get into a basic tripod, and all I want you guys to do at home is to get your knees up onto your elbows once we get down. So our head is down, hands are here, one leg at a time, knees on top of your elbows. Make sure we can hold that, and come back down. Another thing I should point out is make sure you have a soft place at home that you can do this, all right? I'm on cement right now. I've been doing this a long time, so my head can handle this, but if you're just starting out, you definitely want something soft. I have a hat on, so it's a little cushion, but if you have carpet at home, great spot to practice at your house, okay? Next position we're gonna go into, now we're gonna play around with our legs. So the first thing you got to learn how to do is get our legs straight up in the air. So, same position, from here, legs together, and we're gonna extend all the way up. And because it's hip hop, I like to make sure we can flex our feet, not point. All right. Last position I want you guys to try while we're in that tripod, a few more advanced positions. First one is gonna be, we're gonna get our legs straight up in the air, and we're gonna cross one leg, one ankle over the other knee, okay? Almost like we're just relaxing in a chair, right? So either one, doesn't matter, whatever one you feel comfortable with. So we're gonna be like this, upside down, one leg straight up in the air, one leg bent, ankle crossed over the knee. From there, we're gonna pike at the hips, we're gonna pike forward. Make sure from the hips up does not move, all right? It's just your legs. From the hips down to your feet, that's the only thing that pikes forward, okay? Our hips are gonna shift backwards, away from you, okay? As our feet come farther down. And we're gonna be in a horizontal pike position with our legs. So, let's get into it. Tripod again. We're gonna get our elbows and straight legs up. And from here, cross one over and pike. And we can even extend both out if we want. And that's our final trick that we're gonna learn today. Great job, proud of all you guys. Some of those are easy, some are kind of intermediate, and then some of those are advanced for a lot of you. So hopefully you guys learned at least one new thing watching this video. Wish you guys luck. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you're practicing on a safe space. Make sure you might want to partner while you do this stuff. But above all, make sure you guys have fun and take this back to your studio, and hopefully you guys can incorporate some of it at home. Thanks again.